Hey, radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ Family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
Could be the tastiest day of the year. Today's National Donut Day. National Donut Day. First Friday in June. So love that.
I saw something on the internets that looked crazy, but also delicious. They were taking donuts and putting them on skewer sticks and roasting them like marshmallows over a campfire.
What?
Look good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It did.
Like a glazed donut?
Yeah. Just holding it out there and letting the flames heat it and kind of toast it, and then like you would a marshmallow.
I'd much rather have a donut over the fire than a s'more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If you like melt that glaze a little bit, so delicious.
There are a couple of great deals today for National Donut Day.
Are there?
Krispy Kreme, you just walk in, tell them you want a donut, they'll give you one free. You don't have to buy anything at Krispy Kreme. At Dunkin', you have to buy a drink, and you get what they call a classic donut, a glazed, a chocolate glazed, or a jelly-filled donut, free. Ooh. So you go to Dunkin', you buy coffee, and say, oh, I'd throw in a chocolate glazed donut. They're like, okay, no problem.
Yes, please. Your donuts make me go nuts.
You get them free. And most other places, they said a lot of places, other smaller chains have deals today as well.
That's amazing.
You get free donuts.
But I do think I would love that roasted donut over the campfire.
Please.
It's my favorite flavor of donut, smoke.
Let
me get the smoky glazed.
Hot donuts, smoked donuts. And today is the end of an era. This kind of, I don't know why, this kind of makes me feel a little sad. Tonight is the last night of Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune. My entire life, he was the guy that hosted Wheel of Fortune. Am I a Wheel of Fortune fan? No, not really. Yeah. But he's part of American television. He's an icon.
He's been on that show since the 80s, right?
Was there somebody before him?
Yeah.
There was. I didn't even know
the show had an original host. It was a daytime show originally before it got moved into syndication. It was an NBC daytime game show. They used to have a bunch of game shows on TV. Then Pat Sajak came in the late 80s. He was doing that job like 40 years or something.
He's got to be the longest running host of any game show, right?
Bob Barker may have. That's running now. I think Bob Barker probably did host Price is Right longer.
But. Oh, dang, really?
He was doing it. Way old.
Who's taking his place? His daughter?
Oh, I don't even know.
I don't know.
I think Vanna White's staying.
Pat Sajak has been on Wheel of Fortune since 1981.
Bob Barker had 35 years in Price is Right.
Oh, so he beats Bob Barker then.
Man.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I don't care about Wheel of Fortune, but I'm like, oh, Pat Sajak is done on that show. It's just kind of wild.
Pat Sajak's been doing that job for 43 years.
Yeah, I was in the 6th grade. I remember that.
Yeah. Really?
When it started. Yeah.
Is that right? Wow. And then Sam Asghari, he is the ex-husband of Britney Spears. He's going to be on this Peacock show called The Traitors, which is a huge hit on Peacock. I think they've only done 2 seasons, but people love this show. And there's one stipulation about him being on the show. He can't talk about Britney Spears at all. So
what's he there for?
Well, who cares if he's on there now?
I think they got to figure out a way to get him to talk, or else what the? I mean, he's nice to look at, I guess, but we want to hear about Britney. Sam, come on, you're gonna have to make some. You're gonna have to talk about her a little bit, I think. But those are just a few things that are now trending.
There is a story that broke and became viral about a week and a half, 10 days ago. Remember the guy that was driving when he was on the Zoom call about his suspended license and he was driving? Yeah. Oh, there's been an update. Yeah. Oh, get ready for the update. Next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
To losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
We're going to find the worst song ever recorded, according to you, coming up in a few minutes on the Ace and TJ show. But you've probably seen the viral video. We played it here on the show. We laughed about it. We posted it. The guy that was driving during a virtual court appearance about his suspended driver's license. Well, it just got more ridiculous. The guy's name is Corey Harris. He's 44 years old. He lives in Michigan. And after the video became a sensation, he complained to the press that this had made him a punchline. Yes, because you're an idiot. He told the local news that the courts had made a mistake and that the suspension of his license had been removed from his record, which technically was true, but turns out he left out one detail. This is the judge, Cedric Simpson, kind of breaking it all down.
He has never had a Michigan license, ever, and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths. The way I know that he's never had a license, May 3rd, 1999, he applied for his first Michigan ID. You cannot have both. You either have an ID or you have a license. He has religiously every year gotten a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. I just wish he would have said that at the beginning. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all aside.
He's never had a driver's license a day in his life.
So they lied on him saying he had a suspended license. I don't blame him for being mad at their lies.
Right.
Lies,
Never had a license to be suspended.
Yes.
So there.
So you can't have both a state ID and a license. It's an either or thing.
You got to update it every year?
Yeah, not one day has he ever had a driver's license in his entire life. He's only ever had a state ID. Yes, Rob, which he's updated every single year.
That's a lot of hassle. It seems like you just go ahead and get his license.
Yeah. He didn't directly comment. His attorney basically admitted that he'd lied. She said Corey was, quote, not under oath for anything he said, end quote, to the media. So,
Yeah, you can say whatever you want to the media. Unless you got a gag order.
She's like, I'm not under oath to the media for anything.
Oh, God.
She said now he just wants to, quote, move forward.
Yeah.
End quote. And he has an appointment to finally get his driver's license. Can he get a driver's license now?
Yeah, probably after he pays fines and does whatever the court tells him he's got to do as a sentence.
Oh, my God.
Because, I mean, he doesn't have a reckless record or anything.
Yeah, you're right. He just, yeah. That's wild. I love that, though. He was not under oath for anything he said to the media. So everybody calm down.
But if he gets a license, he can go 10 years without having to renew it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's having to go every year for that state ID.
You got to wait in the DMV every year?
He's 44. How do you 44, you've never had a driver's license?
Maybe he just never got around to it.
Yeah, maybe he failed it a lot.
He went every year to get us to re-up his state ID.
Maybe he's not good on tests.
That's what I was going to say. You don't have to take a test to get a state ID.
That's crazy to me.
Good point.
I mean, he's making his life so much harder. That is nuts.
This is the Ace and TJ show.
We're here with Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. And Richard, not just mortgages, not just home sales. Now you're helping people with home improvements.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want a backyard that you've always dreamed of, or you need siding, windows, whatever you need, give us a call. Check it out.
You've got the money in your home. Richard just helps you find it. Finds the best way for you to do it. It's very simple. All you have to do is start by going to homewithrichard.com. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Prepping for the weekend. Bad Boys Ride or Die is in theaters. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. They're back as Miami PD detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett. Very curious to see how this movie does. They say that Will Smith gets slapped several times in the movie. Kind of a...
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Get it? There's also a movie out called The Watchers.
Yeah, that looks good.
The directorial debut of M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. Dakota Fanning is the star. Yeah. My wife and son are jacked about going to see the Watchers this weekend.
It's creepy.
So
I'm not going.
What is his daughter's name? Like J. Brittany Shyamalan?
Shauna. Shauna Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, I've read their middle and last names are all Night Shyamalan.
Yes.
That's
I think the last name is probably Night Shyamalan.
Oh, maybe that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense than just saying middle name.
I'm guessing. It's not hyphenated, though. So
But you don't think siblings with the same middle name is cool, Rob?
No.
No? Well, what about Ace's children?
Well, I mean, they made a mistake. It's fine.
So
Both the Ace's sons have the same middle name.
Same middle name.
oh, do they?
Yeah. Anthony.
To be fair, I didn't remember that when I said it.
You would have still said it anyway, wouldn't you?
It wouldn't have mattered. It's just a middle name. Nobody uses it for the. Who cares? So here's a thought. You hear a lot of people arguing about there was a list out, the greatest albums of all time. People talk about the greatest music. But let's say, what is the worst? The absolute worst. And it's too hard to pick like the worst album ever or all that. So, a very simple question we posted last night on our Facebook page, all of our social media. What is the worst song ever? As long as it's a song that we would all know for the most part. You know, it had to have been a hit. Somehow we know the song. That's it. What is the worst song ever? Does one pop to mind immediately?
What was that Kesha song I used to hate so much?
Praying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or John Legend, All of Me. You hated that one.
But both, I think they're not even close, though, to being the worst songs ever.
But yeah, I was going to say, I didn't hate them because they were so terrible. I hated them because they were so depressing for us to be playing in the mornings on the radio.
Yeah. I have
And I
never
got sick of them.
Yeah.
I have never liked, hard pressed to say it's the worst song ever, but I have never liked We Built This City by Starship. I think that's one of the worst songs. Built this city on rock and roll. It's the least rock song ever to say we built this city on rock and roll. It's terrible.
It does not rock.
And there's a song that TJ always talks about that he hates that it's from the 60s and it's terrible. That I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
Yeah, it's terrible, terrible.
Melanie.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Now,
that's the worst song ever.
One of the big answers we got right out of the box was Texas Hold'em by Beyonce. And I don't think that's anywhere close to being one of the worst.
But, oh, man. Oh, I think Take Me to Church is probably one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
crazy. It's a good song.
That is terrible.
I was thinking anything about the B-52s.
Oh, really?
Come on.
I can't.
I love
stand
Shaq's a catchy song.
No, it's not. It's awful.
Rock Lobster. So, what is it? The absolute worst song? We got so many votes for this. It's unbelievable. We'll get into them next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and Richard is going to help you get out of credit card debt. And when he pulls your information, it will not your credit.
That's right.
Ding, it won't ding
yeah,
your credit.
no dinging, no dinging of the credit. We're going to find out, and so we can do for you, so you don't have to be bombarded by having a negative effect on your credit.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's a lot easier than you think. It all starts by going to homewithrichard.com, and they take care of the rest. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first class cleaning with the Johnson Group.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Hundreds of votes for the worst song ever on our social media, and some of y'all are just crazy. Brittany said, I know I'll get roasted, but American Pie. Maybe it's just overplayed or something, but something about that song just grates on my nerves. American Pie, one of the 5 greatest songs in the history of American music.
It's way too long.
No, it's not. It's flawless.
I disagree.
I got some that should be in the running. I think "Sympathy for the Devil" by the Rolling Stones.
It's sheer genius.
I hate.
Is that the please
Let me introduce myself?
Lyrical genius in that song.
And there was whatever Billie Eilish's next song is going to be. Because it's almost like when they build a new Buc-ee's, the biggest one becomes the second biggest one. Same with Billie Eilish.
Jaleesa says, Happy by Pharrell. She goes, truthfully, I feel bad for hating it, but it absolutely makes me the opposite of happy. I see red. I hate it.
'Cause I'm happy, happy.
That's no way close to being the worst song ever written.
It's annoying now, but
Brenda says, thong to dong dong dong.
Oh.
The thong song is the worst song ever. Barbie Girl by Aqua.
I love that.
I don't know. It's okay. Allison said, Achy Breaky Heart.
it's annoying now.
That is a super catchy song. My Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
I love that one.
Christy said, The Macarena, worst song ever recorded.
The Macarena.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not as bad though as it is when people call it the Macarena.
And true. There are a couple here that blow my mind. Carrie has two. Worst song ever. Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. Come on, that's I get knocked down. You may be tired of it, but that's a catchy song. And she said, All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. Worst song ever.
It's just overplayed. It's not the worst song.
Exactly. Matt said Wonderwall by Oasis is the worst song ever.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah. What about Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
Great song. Great song. He's picking songs now that he knows I love.
Rocking around the Christmas tree is another one.
Cindy said Jump by Van Halen is the worst song ever. Madison, Call Me Maybe.
Oh, that's stupid. That's a good song.
Call Me Maybe is super catchy.
What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong.
He's picking every song that I love. That's all he's doing. Our friend Richard Toccato of the Richard Toccato Companies voted Bubba Shot the Jukebox.
Oh, no.
I love that. Mark Chestnut.
Come on now,
Bubba Shot the
Richard.
Jukebox last night. That's a great song. Let's see. Amanda said Sexy Red. I don't know if I can say the name of the song.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
probably shouldn't.
Yeah, all right. Darlene, Friday by Rebecca Black is the worst song ever.
It's not great.
I love that. It's catchy.
Me too. Well, and here's a lady who's lost her mind. Christine, I'm sorry, Christina. I appreciate you listening. But Fast Car is one of the best songs ever. There's no way that's one of the worst songs ever.
Yeah. The Tracy Chapman version is the best.
Yeah, but even the Luke Combs version is really good. I mean, just
Yeah. I just can't picture him having somebody's arm wrapped around his shoulder. Because he didn't change the lyrics. Right. It's not realistic. He's working in the market as a checkout girl.
The Week in Review coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
So our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies, is here, and he has helped us so many times through the years. And when it comes to mortgages, he's going to get you the best deal.
That's right. We are the best deal. And if you're under contract to buy a house, you should check us out. I mean, you're not going to. They never do. But we're the best deal.
But feel free, you should. And because we've used him for years for a variety of different things. Whatever you're needing, go to homewithrichard.com to get the process started, and they can take care of you from there. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
It is a very special time for all of us in the Ace and TJ radio family, that time when we come together one with another to have reviewed for us in song the week that was pop culture, the week that was the Ace and TJ show. We give you Riggins and the week in review.
And this is my song, it's called A Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you. Ace spent 4 days at the beach, but I don't know if that's the truth, because he came back to the show on Wednesday with 0 tan as proof.
That's right.
Where were you?
But I wasn't burned.
He had a nice and relaxing vacation, but he had to go out and check when his wife pulled out a switchblade and held it to that lady's neck. Don't talk about my wife. We found out Jake Gyllenhaal is legally blind. He's been blind since he was a kid. Well, now he knows how everyone feels after they watch that Roadhouse remake he did.
This is my song, it's called A Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you.
Tech D Rob is into lottery scratchers now. It's more redneck than it is not. Plus, he said that he kept buying them because he claimed his coin was hot. I swear. My coin was hot. Today is National VCR Day, and I know what I want to say. Shout out to all the people who are trying to convince their parents that it's time to finally throw theirs away. A group of women were being catty to Ace's wife. Honestly, what the heck? But then Amanda pulled out that switchblade and held it to their damn old neck.
And this is my song, it's called A Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you.
Jason Kelsey admitted he doesn't wash his feet in the shower, and he started taking a lot of heat. But has anyone ever seen Jason Kelsey? It's pretty clear he doesn't wash his feet. Today is also National Boone Day. If you want to celebrate, that's your choice. You know if someone's from Boone because they got that Boone twang in their voice.
Didn't really know where to go with that.
Boone twang. I get it.
It's a long day, isn't it? Boone twang. Boone twang. Come on.
It's good.
Small Town Adventures will be in New Bern, North Carolina tomorrow. We're giving you all their stops so you won't have to search, but you'll recognize little friend Jenny, the one using the F word outside a church. This is my song.
It's called A Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you. Good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to post that video today so people know where to find you on Small Town Adventures tomorrow.
Yeah, I made so many videos yesterday.
I can tell.
And then when I had to bring my wife into one of them, and you know she's not a professional, so I was like, what am I going to do? I'm ready to go to bed.
A lot of people were asking where you're going to be, so we'll have that video up today.
Okay. Now, I hated school. I mean, I really hated school. But if I would have been able to take a class like this one that's offered in Vermont to high school students, I would have been all over it. Only this class took a little bit of a bad turn. And we'll tell you why they need therapy now, coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
It's been a debate here for years.
Does great furniture look good?
Or does it feel good?
Does it fit the style of the room good?
Or does it sit good?
Well, after years of debate
and years of research,
we've decided great furniture
is good fitting
and good sitting.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and get an Adirondack chair for just $279. In stock and ready to rock only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
All right, this may be the first time I've ever said anything positive about the state of Vermont. Well, I have talked about their syrup being good, but that's neither here nor there. In Burlington, Vermont, they have a class, and the way they describe it, I think, it's for high school students, and I believe it's a summer class, like an extra type class that you can take, and it's about forensics. It's a class on forensics, so I would have been all over that, you know, being a crime junkie and all. So on Wednesday, they went to the Burlington Police Department because they were being taught a lesson from the police about the unreliability of witness statements. And they're in there and they're learning, and they're at the whatever classroom, that kind of situation they have in there. And then all of a sudden, 3 masked gunmen bust into the room and start shooting. And nobody knows what was going on. The kids are having to duck for cover. The police officers are shocked. How did these people get into the police station and just bust in and start firing on kids and police officers and all with no fear? The parents, when it was all said and done, as you can imagine, are just beside themselves. The school is having to offer therapy services and all of that for the kids after this incident. And one of the things, though, that they couldn't figure out is why the police officers weren't trying to subdue the people or pull out their guns. And I guess they thought, well, maybe they don't want to accidentally shoot us in here, so that's why they're not shooting. Come to find out, it was a whole staged incident that the police did as a surprise to teach them part of what would happen if they then had to become witnesses and give statements to what the crime was. So the whole thing was part of the lesson. Kids had no idea, just busting in and start shooting blanks all over the place. There was other officers who were playing the part.
It's a wonder they didn't have a heart attack or something while they were in there. That's crazy. There's a better way to do that. I mean, I get the point, but wow.
So the school officials and all that are saying this is terrible and blah, blah, blah. And then the police department said, well, we have in writing, we sent the school official an explanation of what we wanted to do. And then they read it. It said it is as realistic as you can get. And then the person at the school responded, I think that'll be fine. I think these students can handle it.
Goodness.
So the cops are in the clear. We told you what we were going to do. Oh.
One of the students said, quote, I'm shaking and crying because I feel like, oh my God, I was going to get shot.
Yeah. I believe that.
That's awesome.
But the cops are like, hey, don't blame us. The school is the one that approved it. We sent them, told them what we wanted to do. We would never just jump out and do this without the school telling us it was okay.
And they're not wrong.
If they blame the cops a little bit, though. You can
No.
I don't think you can.
I think maybe a little bit.
No, because the school.
Sure, you can.
No, the school should have said, no, that's too far.
I understand the school should have stepped in, but as just as intellectual individual, you go, maybe you're not equipped to be protecting and serving. That seems like a bad idea to fake a school shooting.
Disagree.
No. There you go.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Okay, we got to clear a few things up. And I'm sorry, we got to clear up a few things. Don't end a sentence in a preposition, kids. Even though it's summer, you can still learn. Knowledge is flowers. And this is not anything that is, confusion on our parts or something we may have missed. I'm just saying that as a society, we need to make sure that we're using the right language when referring to things. Like this story says, a man in Florida was arrested after he swung a Stanley Cup at an officer after breaking into a church with a sledgehammer. We need to refer to these things as Stanley mugs, because there is a Stanley Cup that is the official name of the championship trophy for hockey for the NHL.
Fair point.
So those big Stanley thermos mugs should be called Stanley mugs, and unless we can come up with a better name for them, Stanley
tumblers.
Yeah, Stanley tumblers. Second of all, men should never have a Stanley mug. Why is this guy he must have stolen that, because why would a man ever have one of those things?
I would have just assumed it was in the church.
Really?
Like once he broke into the church, when the cops, it was like there, and he just reached out and grabbed it. Because why would he be carrying it around with him into the church if he was breaking in?
I don't know.
I would have. That was just, and maybe it's because I didn't think he would have one on him because he's a guy.
Yeah, but I mean, there are certain things that are specific to sexes.
Sure.
You know, the Stanley mug is, you know, exclusively for women.
I've never seen a man with one ever.
No. Cooking on Blackstone is specifically for men. Nothing looks
TJ.
Nothing looks weirder to me than seeing a woman cooking on a Blackstone outside.
Okay.
I mean, I know the Lord can see everything, and He ain't happy with that.
The Lord.
Yeah, my wife was threatening to use my pressure washer for something the other day, and I said,
Whoa.
"You are not."
Yeah, come on, let's be realistic now.
No way you're using my pressure washer. I'll stop what I'm doing right now, even if I'm performing an emergency tracheotomy on somebody choking. I'll stop so you don't mess up my pressure washer. And it doesn't matter what color they are either. They could have a camouflage one of those Stanley mugs, and it just you don't ever see men carrying them, nor should they.
Is it the straw that's it, or is it just the brand itself?
You know, no, the brand is a very manly brand and was
Right.
from the very beginning. But they have products that are, you know, for men to use, and then they invented this one for women.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't mean to sound old fashioned or anything.
You don't, not at all.
Not at all. But he's right. You haven't seen a guy with a Stanley mug. You haven't.
Yeah. Unless he was dressed up like a woman and fooled us.
Yeah. Or he was just holding it for a lady for a minute.
Yeah.
Is the Stanley what they used to carry soup in to their job sites?
Yeah, soup, mainly coffee. And where I come from, they called it a coffee bottle.
A coffee.
Yeah.
The old men called it a coffee bottle. Yeah, but either way, if y'all would just send me any questions you may have about which sex should do what, I'll be glad to answer for free.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
We're here with Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. And Richard, not just mortgages, not just home sales. Now you're helping people with home improvements.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want a backyard that you've always dreamed of, or you need siding, windows, whatever you need, give us a call. Check it out.
You've got the money in your home. Richard just helps you find it. Finds the best way for you to do it. It's very simple. All you have to do is start by going to homewithrichard.com. It's homewithrichard.com. The Richard Toccato Companies.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
All right, if you want a good steak, and they say, what state is famous for the best steak or the most steak or whatever, known for steak, what state would you say?
Oklahoma.
I bet say Omaha, but that's not state.
Right.
It's not, no.
Good answer, Rob.
Nebraska is what I'll go with then.
I would say Texas.
Oh, yeah, Texas, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Texas.
Because it doesn't have to be a good steak, but they just eat steak every meal in Texas. If you say Creole food, where are you going to go?
Louisiana.
Right. You can say barbecue, which state?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah.
Be North Carolina or Tennessee.
Missouri.
Well, Missouri is the wrong answer, Rob.
Okay, sorry.
Because when you say Caribbean food, that's when you think Missouri.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there's a story of a restaurant. It's a upscale Caribbean restaurant in Missouri that has hit the news because they age discriminate, according to their critics, because they won't let anybody under 30 dine in their restaurant. They don't want young people's business. They've set an age restriction. It requires men to be at least 35 and women to be 30.
That's the kicker to me, though. The men have to be 35 and up, but women can get in at 30.
Right. Well, I mean, I think they make that rule for couples like your situation, Ace, where if the man's going to be older and wants to bring his younger wife in there, he's allowed to.
Oh, okay.
You know.
The girls develop faster than boys anyway.
Right. And then that's why, they say girls are more mature than guys, and I guess they do even when it comes to being men or whatever. But they card at the door to make sure that you're not in your 20s because they've had people trying to sneak in there. The owner admits that he's, quote, getting a little backlash. He said that's all right. He says they are strict because young people have been trying to sneak in, post about it on social media. He said just something for older people. Happy hour, come get food, and not have to worry about some of the young folks who bring some of the drama. We want to ensure mature, sophisticated, and safe dining environment for everyone.
A mature, sophisticated, safe dining environment. The finest Caribbean food in Missouri.
And you don't want to have to worry about, ending up on somebody's social media page and somebody making fun of you from across the room, videoing you if you're, a great big fat person and eating a lot. Say, look at this. Look at this boomer. Whatever.
Is that legal? Can they do that?
I don't know.
That seems like it would not be.
But I mean, you're like your parents' neighborhood. They have an age restriction. You can't be in there unless you're 55. Right? Like, don't even come in the gates. I'm kidding.
Does that include babies as well? I would assume. Like, no,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
You got to make that a date night. You leave the baby at home.
Yeah, leave the baby with a 20-something.
You go.
And tell them to order pizza or eat some nuggets. We're going to have real food with grown people.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with that, Ace?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Because young people can make all kind of criticisms about older people constantly. And everybody laughs. It's so funny. But once you say you don't want their drama around, that's when they start crying.
That's a safe space for older people.
What if the older people are the ones that bring the drama?
They're not.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and Richard is going to help you get out of credit card debt. And when he pulls your information, it will not your credit.
That's right.
Ding, it won't ding your credit.
No dinging, no dinging of the credit. We're going to find out and see what we can do for you, so you don't have to be bombarded by having a negative effect on your credit.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's a lot easier than you think. It all starts by going to homewithrichard.com, and they take care of the rest. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies. Meal delivery services are a big thing right now, but Table and Twine is your local meal delivery service. The meals are fresh, not frozen like national chains. Plus, their meals start at just $7.99 a serving. Take back that time in your day, leave the shopping, preparation, and cooking to Table and Twine. Get details at tableandtwine.com. That's tableandtwine.com.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
Conspiracy theories are flying after a mysterious shadowy figure was spotted at the Taylor Swift show in Madrid. This is what it looks like. This is at the very top of the stadium in a place where the Swifties are not allowed. No ticketed person is allowed up in this area of the stadium. So now people are saying, is this a plant from Taylor to sort of give us an Easter egg about what's coming next? Or is this just a fan that went into the...
Could be an somebody that works in the stadium,
Yeah, watching the entire show, not moving, kind of creeping out the young people in the audience watching the Taylor Swift show.
Could be any number of things. Could be somebody with security.
Yeah.
Or it could be some type of Easter egg.
Yeah.
Which I would love. I think that would be genius to do something like that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Kind of fun to do, right?
Yeah.
Today is National Donut Day. And Ace mentioned earlier, you can go to Krispy Kreme, get a free donut, no purchase necessary, or you can go to Dunkin' and get a free donut with the purchase of a beverage. Is that correct?
Yeah. And they have options. Krispy Kreme, I think you get a free glazed. Dunkin', you can get glazed, chocolate glazed, or one of their jelly donuts. They call them. You get one of the classic donuts.
Jelly filled.
So you could get like a. Does that mean you can get a French vanilla cappuccino and get a free lemon filled donut?
Yeah, if you're a lady.
That's what I was gonna say.
Call me a lady, because that's
a French vanilla cappuccino and a lemon filled,
chocolate filled or lemon filled. But
yeah, I mean, if you're dainty, I think that would be perfect.
What am I going to do?
What do you mean that lemon fill's not classic?
Put it in the bag. And then Warner Brothers wants to make a Barbie sequel, obviously, but they say they're going to do it with or without Greta Gerwig, who was the director of the first one. So I don't. This seems like they're just testing the waters. Like, we're going to do it with or without you.
Has she done something to upset them?
You would have to think, by the way that statement is phrased, that there's some sort of You know,
She may be asking for an outlandish amount of money.
She probably is.
Ownership
They made
and all of that.
over $1 billion.
you want a bigger paycheck the second time around.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to get Martin Scorsese.
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
That would be
Either
amazing.
him or what is the who's that other guy with the big chin? The director.
Tarantino?
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino, Barbie 2?
Yeah.
I'm watching that Barbie movie. I didn't see the first one. I'll watch that one. More coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin. If you want all of the heating, air, and electrical work in your house done by the very best, then you need Bradham Brothers. They've been a family business thriving for over 50 years, and that means they're doing something right. Go to Bradham Brothers.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So earlier this week, we found out that Tech D Rob is into lottery scratchers now, but he said he was going to chill out because he hadn't won any. So you're done with those?
Yeah, I did it the one day, and then I just let it ride until it was done.
You're still doing the energy drinks, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had one today?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell. Between 1 and 10, Ace, have you had an energy drink today?
Yes.
You can tell. Between 1 and 10, how many gallons do you think you've consumed in a year?
I don't know.
More than 10 gallons?
How many ounces in a gallon? I mean,
128 ounces in 1 gallon. So that's like 10 is 1 gallon. It's somewhere around there.
Yeah. So something like that.
Actually, that'd be a little more.
They say that's the tipping point when things really start to become a problem. If you've had over 10 gallons in a year.
It's possible.
I think yes.
Give me a second. I'll figure it out. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
I got a water problem.
The effects may be irreversible.
How many ounces in a gallon, Rob?
128.
128.
It looks like 1 can is 0.125 gallons.
Let's just say, safe to say, I'm well over that amount.
You're over 10 gallons? Just this calendar year so far?
No, not just in this calendar, but in a year.
In a year.
In the past 12 months, yes. I am. If I've done the math right, I'm over double that.
Yeah, because you always use the brands. You drink the brands that come in tall boys too.
No, it's one a day. If I had one a day, 5 days a week,
it's 16 ounces.
Yeah,
right?
16. So okay,
it's gonna be more because I did 12 ounces.
Yeah, because it turns out to be 8 16-ounce ones in 1 gallon.
Oh wow, that's a week in a day.
Yeah, it's a lot more than that. Wow, I didn't think of it that way.
Well,
the rough math is it's probably closer to about 30 gallons.
Oh my god,
28 gallons. That's having one a day. It's having one a day.
Gallons?
It's one. If I have one a day, 5 days a week, and I know I have some on the weekends as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, and sometimes some days I have 2.
I was about to say.
So I've probably had over 30 gallons of energy drink in a year. I need to reevaluate.
Would it be this
Wow.
year? Are we even this calendar year at this point?
I don't know, Rob. I don't know.
He's just saying in the past 12 months.
I know, but I think
Yeah.
in the past 5 months.
I've probably had more than
imagine-
10 gallons in this year.
Imagine
in 2024.
those 30 gallons being in separate 1 gallon jugs. How long it would take you to load them into your car?
I know. That's what I was just thinking about.
Look, baby, I got a year's worth of energy drinks in my trunk.
Yeah.
30 gallons.
I'd like to go home and lay down right now, but I couldn't take a nap. So it's
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and Richard is going to help you get out of credit card debt. And when he pulls your information, it will not your credit.
That's right.
Ding, it won't ding
yeah,
your credit.
no dinging, no dinging of the credit. We're going to find out and see what we can do for you, so you don't have to be bombarded by having a negative effect on your credit.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's a lot easier than you think. It all starts by going to homewithrichard.com, and they take care of the rest. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
When it comes to buying or selling a house, you know, there are all kinds of people that can help you do that, but not like the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. They are so much more than just real estate salespeople. Find out by going to acetj.com/Temple team.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Ace is still reeling after the revelation was made that he's had 30 gallons of energy drink in a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's like one a day, though. I don't know. It just seems like a lot.
Yeah, well, the good news is that I made up that study, and I was just curious about how much energy drink
did you lie?
Yeah.
Okay. You could.
Because I could tell you.
You didn't.
Yeah, you didn't lie. That's that is all true.
I think it didn't
But
matter
the whole
what that
thing about
study said.
if you have more than 10 gallons, you have a problem.
Yeah, I was just trying to make the point that I'd noticed that you guys are definitely all hopped up on energy drinks today.
Yeah. Well,
I also got 7 hours of sleep last night, so
Did you really?
yeah,
Good for you.
rested. Let's go.
Because yesterday,
Then you wouldn't need the energy drink.
Nah, I need both.
I got to be operating at full optimum levels.
I think the math tells me it's closer, maybe over 40 gallons.
You're fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're healthy in other ways. It doesn't matter.
My health is great.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys have to take a mandatory class in high school where they brought you into like an auditorium, like all levels, and taught you how to like write a check and do your taxes and stuff like that?
No, because we had parents.
Yeah.
Whoa. Fancy.
What's a practical skill that should be taught in high schools right now? At the Ace TJ show, something real life, real world that kids are going to actually be able to use that they're not being taught right now. At the Ace TJ show, we'll get your answers next.
This is the Ace and TJ show.
They say there are only two things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
So our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies, is here, and he has helped us so many times through the years. And when it comes to mortgages, he's going to get you the best deal.
That's right. We are the best deal. And if you're under contract to buy a house, you should check us out. I mean, you're not going to. They never do. but we're the best deal.
But feel free, you should, and because we've used him for years for a variety of different things. Whatever you're needing, go to homewithrichard.com to get the process started, and they can take care of you from there. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So what's a practical skill that should be taught in high school that isn't taught right now? I had to take like a one-day, full-day class about how to write a check, how to do my taxes, I think it was. Like a bunch of random things, and that weren't even really helpful at that age.
And that's the catch. I think once you're out of high school, unless you have kids that are currently in high school at the moment, you don't really know. Like my kids are both out of high. I don't know what they're, my son's been in high school for 3 years. I don't know exactly what they're teaching right now. So it's hard to say, to know whether it's being taught or not at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the boys should be taught how to put together an outfit.
The boys should be able to do that?
So they don't have to, every time they need to go somewhere, their wife doesn't have to lay out their clothes for them. I still know guys who do that. Their wife if they're going somewhere. Yeah. So they need to do that. And I think everybody needs to know how to cook to a certain extent. You got to, if you find yourself at home and you want something to eat, you can prepare yourself a meal.
Okay.
You should at least know the basic cooking skills.
I'll have you know that I was taught those things and I don't remember any of it. So
You didn't retain.
You can cook for yourself, right?
I mean, barely.
I'll give you one. I think every student should have to know the answers to the naturalization test that somebody takes when they become a citizen of the United States of America.
Well, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah. What? Nobody has to take the test anymore? Yeah.
No, there's no immigration process per se now.
Yeah, you should have to. You should have to do that.
Everybody's welcome.
That test is hard, isn't it?
I've heard that. Alexis, I think, said her mom took one, or one of her relatives took it, and she tried to take the practice one. It was really difficult.
Yeah, it can be very surprising. But you should know how your government works. I'm not sure that I can even pass the thing, but I think I got a pretty good shot at it.
Yeah.
But these are important things that you need to know about how your country works. It would help people have a better understanding of the electoral process.
So learn that, or like Valerie said, just how to load a dishwasher correctly.
That's what my wife would say that.
Yeah.
She said, I'm over 50. I'm just doing my best. A lot of household finance things and managing stuff like that, budgeting, why credit cards can ruin your life and things like that. I think out of personal experience, they were sharing that. But at the Ace TJ Show, if you've got a great one, we'd love to hear it.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Hey, radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.